So welcome back to Decoy Noise and another episode of Versus Decoy Noise, where I'm going to cover Am I the Antagonist posts that are very controversial, and Am I the Antagonist for being uncomfortable with my girlfriend seriously wanting to start up her own OnlyFans. So if you're brand new to the channel, I'm doing furlough episodes where I actually haven't had work for a while, so I'm giving myself a tattoo every day. You guys told me to get a neck one and one on the palm, but I was able to get one on the hand. If you haven't already, please subscribe down below because you're going to get to see me descend into madness while I wait for kind of normalcy to come back or whatever. But also let me know what subscriber number you are because it helps me kind of track my channel growth. But also over at decoynoise.com, I have all my videos and everything, but I'm going to start to kind of recognize everybody that's letting me know the subscriber number, they're dropping comments, and just trying to figure out a way to help you guys kind of like feel appreciated, because I know that you guys are taking the time out of your day to post stuff on my thing. But let's just get into the video over there because this one is going to be awkward. So for those of you who don't know what OnlyFans is, from my understanding, it's a website where people utilize to post adult images which their subscribers pay for. So, long story short, I'm an 18-year-old female, and so is my girlfriend, and tonight she mentioned starting an OnlyFans since she lost her job. I thought she was joking since we joke about it in the past, but she was being 100% serious, and I basically said that it's not something I'm comfortable with, and she just kept asking why. I asked her how she would feel if I was asking her the same thing, and she replied with something along the lines of, I would be okay with it because I feel stable enough in our relationship to know that you're not cheating or anything and that you still love me, and I found that to be spinning the issue a bit. I don't see this as something about me not trusting her or being insecure. I'm just not comfortable with the idea of possibly thousands of random people paying to see her entire body. Am I the antagonist here, or is it okay for me to be uncomfortable with the whole situation? So like I said in Decoy Court, I'm just going to give my knee-jerk reactions and what I kind of think because I have an uneducated opinion about this. But I mean, my big takeaway is, as you can kind of tell, I'm very pro-freedom in the situation where it's like her girlfriend's free to do whatever she wants. If she wants to get up and walk away from, like, get up and make an OnlyFans account or do actual, like, adult other stuff, whatever she wants, I'm all for it. She can do whatever the heck she wants. She's an adult. But I'm also a part of the camp that says, OP, if she's like, okay, look, I can't control what you do, I can control what I do. And if I'm uncomfortable with that, regardless of how wrong or right I am, I can just pack up and go. So it's not like she needs to give her some ultimatum saying, you do this or I'm gone. It's like, hey, you do you and I'll do me. So if we are incompatible in that's an important point, then we need to go our separate ways. So if she wants to make her OnlyFans account, by all means do it, but then OP just needs to get up and walk away. There's no compromise. There's no like back and forth on like whether or not we need to figure out what kind of OnlyFans account or what other website I can make or whatever it may be. It's just like, hey, look, if you guys are incompatible, you're young, you have your whole life ahead of you, break it up, move apart. That's it. Like there's no... I'm not trying to say this person was manipulating with them, saying like, hey, look, when she said, hey, I feel stable enough in our relationship to know you're not cheating or whatever. It's like everybody has competing values of comfort, and whether you consider something cheating and others think not cheating, like a lot of people would say like, hey, look, their girlfriend or boyfriend texting other people, like flirting, that's cheating. Other people say like, oh, actually like making out would be cheating. So it's like whether or not there's a standard across the board of what it is and is not cheating. If it's your standard of cheating, if that's across your like borders of what you feel comfortable with, then you need to break up, because that's like where you like lost your sense of trust or whatnot. So I mean, that's where I stand. My decoy court verdict is not the antagonist, but I don't think nobody's the antagonist here. No antagonist here, because girlfriend has her different value set where she wants to do this to make some money. By all means, go off and do whatever makes you happy. And then OP needs to walk away. So maybe the girlfriend's being the antagonist for trying to like not pressure, but trying to like convince the OP into saying this is okay. But for the most part, let everybody do with it, whatever the heck they want to do, whatever makes them happy. So they're just incompatible in that situation. But like I said, pause the video. Put your comments down below before we start looking over the top comments and also the controversial comments, because that's the most fun part of this video. But let me know what you think. Who's the antagonist? Who's not the antagonist? Let me know so we can kind of figure this out again. And then once you have some good posts, we can kind of put it on the Decoy Noise Koi website or whatever. So Let's look at this top comment right now. So, not the antagonist / no antagonist here. So yes, adult work is work, but every kind of work takes a toll on your body and mind and soul if you believe in that. It will ultimately change her, you, and your relationship. Stability is everything which is to consider, but also the comments and so on from these people. Well, that's kind of a weird read. You are acting in the open and you make yourself vulnerable. Maybe it seems easy moneyly, but has implications. Maybe it seems like easy money, but it has implications to consider, and I'm guessing what they're trying to say. So OP came back and said, I agree. I think she's really only thinking about the money and nothing else, which, I mean, desperate situations causes for desperate measures. Maybe they really need it. I don't know what their financial situation is, but I'm not trying to like stretch that far and figure out what that is. So a reply to that is, take it from someone who is an ex-adult worker that dated an adult worker. It's effing bad. If you aren't comfortable with it, get it out as soon as possible. And that's the thing, is like, you know, you're not judging them, saying like, you know what, I could never date someone like that and shame on you for doing that. It's like, no, okay, look, that's what you're into. That's not my cup of tea. Separate ways, you know what I mean? Not everybody has to be comfortable with everybody's whole situation. So next top reply. Not the antagonist for being entirely comfortable. Some people consider watching adult content cheating. That's why I say making adult content could be considered cheating. But I don't agree that she was spinning the issue. She told you how she would feel in the situation because you asked. She is comfortable with it. It is not something that would make her feel insecure in that relationship. You should have given the actual reasons why you're not okay with it. How would you feel if ... is a bad argument most of the time. She's not you. She's not going to feel the same way about it. She shouldn't have dismissed your feelings, but you never actually communicated them. And you know what? That's good right there. The whole situation where I feel like that was a valid thing. Like, hey, have empathy for me. How would you feel about this? But you were saying like, you know, they have competing values of what is, you know, permissible. So it's a bad argument most of the time. So it's a thing where it's like, you know, explain how you feel. Don't try to flip it back on her, because the thing is, it was in the same sense. She was like, I think the girlfriend is like flipping it back on me. She was essentially doing the same thing to her. So, I mean, it was a bad argument. So I mean, kudos to this person giving this feedback, because that is true, where it's like, you know, you're trying to expect something in return that you're not giving yourself. But let's look into the reply to that. OP replied, actually, I see now that me asking how she would feel if I did the same is not a good argument. That's my bad. But I think my main reason is I just associate nudity with love. So for me, I guess it does make me feel like she's cheating in sense, sending nudes to other people regardless of the reasons behind it. And the thing is, though, is that's completely understandable for you not to be okay with it. I mean, if we all have different, I keep on repeating myself, but that's the only point I have, is like, you know, freedom. Everybody can kind of have their own standard of what's okay. One more top comment. Not the antagonist. Essentially, she's asking to be okay with her taking something intimate and special she shares with you and selling it to strangers. Doing this over the objection of your significant other is disrespectful. And the thing is, though, is maybe that the girlfriend is okay with sending it to everybody else, and then the OP is actually like, oh, I've only shared it with you. So, I mean, that is a competing value right there. But let's look at her OP's reply. I think I'll have to mention to her that if she does it regardless, that I won't be sticking around. As much as I do love her, we've been together for over a year now, and this is a deal breaker for me. Not that I considered it one until now, since I've never thought about it. So I mean, that's good that she's very even-minded on this whole situation, where she's not like, oh my god, can you believe this thing's happening or whatever. She's just like, hey, this is kind of a deal breaker for me. So I mean, hopefully we all kind of learn something. But like I said, the best content on all these Am I the Antagonist threads are the controversial comments. So I mean, let's kind of buckle up and see what everybody's saying over here that nobody seems to kind of agree on. Controversial comment. If she's sharing those images against your will for money or not, then it's cheating. You should explain that to her. Chances are, if she does this now, when she's being economically coerced to do it, she's going to regret it down the road too, not the antagonist. And you know what? That's probably a good point. You don't want to like shame anybody, but the idea that if she's only doing it because like, hey, I lost my job and I need to make some money, there's a higher chance she's going to regret it, whether as opposed to if she did it just because that was a hobby of hers, or she just kind of felt like she wanted to do that. So it's like, I see how this person is getting downvoted, because they're like, you know, it's anybody that wants to take away your ability to make your own decisions is the bad person on Reddit. But I mean, they make a good point. And then somebody else came back to reply. They got a whole bunch of negative votes. I disagree. She's not cheating. She wants to make money. Sharing those images will give her money. She's been clear with what she wanted to do with her partner. It's work, not a relationship. So I can see why people were kind of upset about the way they're saying, the way that person put it. I feel like, you know, they meant well, but they just didn't communicate it gently, which is, am I the antagonist really needs you to do. But OP also replied to that first comment and said, I've said to her if she starts on OnlyFans, it's not something I can support her through, and if she does it behind my back, I'll consider it to be cheating/breaking trust. I think she knows how serious I'm being about it, but she still doesn't understand why I'm so uncomfortable with it. I didn't know how else to put it other than nudity and love for hand in hand for me, or are hand in hand for me is what she's trying to say. And then I associate the two closely, all when it comes back to love. So it's just, you know, expressing her comfort zone. Someone just said not the antagonist, non-antagonist here. So the other controversial comment is definitely not the antagonist, and your girlfriend is being manipulative when she says she's okay with the situation if the roles were reversed, since she, knowing you, is aware that the roles wouldn't be reversed. She's comparing a hypothetical situation that isn't likely to happen to a situation that is actually happening. This, by the way, is something abusive partners, men and women, do all the time. Your problem henceforth as follows. She either listens to you, in which case she will use it as leverage at some later point, saying that she has made a sacrifice for you, singular and plural, or she goes through with it, in which case she's clearly demonstrating that she doesn't take you or your feelings into account. Actions, not words, tell us all we're dealing with, what sort of person we're dealing with, and so on. I speak from experience when I'm telling you that nothing good can come of this. Best of luck to you, and I hope you have a great week. So the reason that they got the negative votes, because they started by saying, hey, she's being manipulative, and if you roles reverse or whatever. I think it's misconstrued because OP said, hey, what if the roles reversed? So they told them exactly what they would think, and it's like, I don't think they were going to try to play that card unless OP started saying it in the first place. So that's why this person got downvoted. But I mean, the thing is, though, is if you went down towards like the rest of the comment right here, they made a lot of sense. They're saying like, hey, look, that's kind of tell you like who you're dealing with. Either they're going to give into your demands and they're going to be able to use it against you. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but just the idea that it's like, hey, they're sacrificing something of themselves, and they could say, hey, look, remember that one time that I didn't do what I wanted on behalf of you. Or then two, they do it, and then you feel like crap because like, oh, now I'm in uncomfortable waters right now. So the thing is, though, is a relationship, I don't want to say is dead, but if this is a very important thing for the girlfriend to do, then they have a larger issue to tackle with or whatever. But also this person probably got downvoted because they did a bit of a projections, were saying like, hey, I've dealt with this type of situation before and it always means negative things or whatever. So I mean, yeah, it's like projection is good because everybody's giving their own opinions and their own particular feedback, which is good for the situation because that's why you post it for different perspectives, but bad in the sense where they're kind of like saying, hey, look, there's only one way this goes down, the way it happened to me. So I mean, I appreciate this feedback, this comment, and also I will appreciate when you guys drop your replies so I can do a whole video about that as well. But I mean, if you have a different input, I don't really care. Like, let me know down below. I'll never judge anybody for giving something that's not the popular opinion. But I mean, if you got to the end of the video, you obviously like the content, please consider subscribing down below, checking out that video over there. But as always, let me know what subscriber number you are because I'm going to try to reward you guys on the Decoy Koi website. But I mean, yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking, and thanks for dropping by.